Look, I know some of you are really disappointed about missing the lecture on mass spectrometry, but for anyone interested, you can visit our lab after the pandemic is over. And if you're interested in microbiology or pathology in general, you should look up the SFAM or Royal College of Pathologists online, because now we really want to tell you the next part of our story. See, none of us had ridden before, but Princess Elizabeth showed us how to hold the reins, and soon we were galloping along the muddy roads out of London as the sun was coming up and the fog cleared, until at last we saw Holbeach House, home of Robert Catesby, ringleader of the Gunpowder plot. Rookwood, Digby, Tresham, give yourselves up.
No.
Never.
Okay, here's the thing. Someone scratched themselves on the wooden barrels left in the undercroft. Wasn't Guido Fawkes, because it's not his blood type. Whoever was scratched got an infection. It's not just living things like microorganisms or fungi that helped us track you down. It's chemicals found in the environment. And in our lab, we can identify them by mass spectroscopy because different chemicals or residues have different molecular masses. The results of the mass spectroscopy at the scene, they look like this. If we're in our lab, the material that has all of its peaks is the one that's at the scene. But we don't need to do that because your cough is identifying that one of you is infected. You are the gunpowder plotters. In our time, you'd have been vaccinated, but we know that you are not. You're ill and we can help, but you have to give yourselves up. Off to the tower.
What do you think? I took your advice about cleaning up.
It's spotless. I'm impressed.
Guy doesn't look very pleased.
He's just fed up because he's going to be undrawn and quartered.
What?
Yeah, I'm afraid that is actually true. Guy? Guido?
Prithee, damsel, stay back, torment me not with your evil needles.
Listen, Guy. I and my team, we are the opposite of the gunpowder plotters who just want to do harm. We are healthcare scientists. Your plotter mate, Everard Digby, was infected with bacteria, the Yersinia pestis, when he was injured, carrying the pile of wood. All we wanted to do was keep Princess Elizabeth safe and find him and get him treated.
That is why we are plotting. All the people in our towns up north and in Midlands are sick and we've had plague and we don't know what to do. No one in Parliament is helping us.
Are you always washing your hands?
What's part of that?
There are lots of things you can do to stop diseases.
Why, she's right. I ain't ever felt so well since I stopped spitting on my food to wash my vegetables.
We can teach everyone to stop catching bugs.
Yes, Your Highness, but your father, His Majesty, he's really set on the hanging and the drawing and the quartering.
No, I won't allow it. We shall teach all the plotters about hand washing and let them go. I will talk to my father.
Begging your pardons, we can't just pardon him.
You must, and teach them your rhymes. So the knowledge that you pass on becomes the antidote to infection by plague and all these other illnesses.
I don't think the king would allow it. The hanging and whatnot is a disincentive against other crime.
I have it. As I have been John Johnson, Guy and Guido Fawkes, I and my fellow plotters shall new names take again. Mr. Scientist, Sir Infection, simple, honest names. No one shall know us, and a story shall be invented and spread abroad that we were hanged. so that no one else will ever dare to plot against Parliament again. And we can pay for our crimes by going out and spreading good across the world.
Well, no sooner was the plan agreed, the birds began to sing. It was almost daylight, and we rushed away and rowed the boat back to the top of Lamb's Conduit Street. And then we rushed in here to tell you.
And that was the end of the adventure.
We never had a chance to say goodbye to Princess Elizabeth. And I hope that she continues her interest in science when she grows up.
Sorry to startle you, and apologies for the costume. We're having a special event to celebrate Pathology Week at Gosh. I'm Eliza, by the way, the biomedical engineer. You called me in about your malfunctioning Molotov. I've had a look and I really can't find anything wrong with it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's fine. Anytime. Goodbye.
Well, all we have to do now is write up our reports.
Did anyone bring their notes back with them from 1605? Well, we have no evidence. No one will ever believe this happened.
Never mind. Plenty of real work to be getting on with.
Yeah, how's it coming along with the COVID-19 tests?
I'm starting a new batch of samples. Just need to go wash my hands.
Yeah. Oh, listen. Do you hear that? A sort of chanting. And that voice reminds me of being in the Tower of London.
Get in line. All right, you horrible, smelly prisoners. What do healthcare scientists do? Healthcare scientists are often considered the forgotten workforce in the
NHS.
We are small in numbers, but for impact,
We're the best.
We're the best.
80% of diagnoses and therefore people put on the pathway to better health have had that diagnosis made by
HCS.
We don't just work in labs. Many of you will meet us and assume we're doctors and nurses. But we ain't. We are healthcare scientists. What do we say? Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
And again,
Wash your hands.
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 Wash your hands.